this. Just let me quickly check. Let me check if I. Yeah, we didn't talk about this agile. Okay. Okay. So here. So what is this agile? Okay. So again, this is an this is also a methodology. That means it's not like methodology. Whenever you talk about this methodology, it's not like something like software or something like it's a framework. That means it's a process. It's a management perspective. Basically, it's a management perspective. Okay. Technically, it has nothing to do with developers, nothing to do with the testers, but you have to know this. The reason being, you are into the system, right? You're into the system of some methodology, and it's a process. Okay. Okay, so agile, okay, now, now agile, again, I told you, right, agile consists of various subdivisions. Okay, there is extreme programming, there is rapid application development, and there is something called Scrum, that's called Kanban. We'll talk about this Kanban later. That is really simple, and most complex part here is Scrum. Okay, Scrum, because what is a Scrum? Again, it's an iterative and incremental process, which is actually, it's kind of, it's a framework. Okay, again, it's a framework, and it's actually ceremonial kind of, system. Okay, so what you basically do in a Scrum is actually you only involve in meetings, and okay, that's what they, Scrum is like, if you want to understand in layman terms, Scrum is like a team. Okay, Scrum 1, Scrum 2, Scrum 3, Scrum 4, so on. So that's actually, if you say about Scrum, you can give some definition like it's a framework, software definition, software development. Okay, but if you want to understand it the layman language, then you can call it as a team. Okay, team. What is a team? It consists of developers, testers, the people who are responsible for doing work. There's a lot of people. Okay, so but here the main point being of Scrum is that you are having a small team. Okay, not no more 10 to 20 people. Okay, the Scrum is only just few people, 3 to 4 people. That's it, including tester. 5 people is okay. Won't go beyond 5. If you have 10 people, then it's your project is really going into some either it goes really very good or it may not go really. 10 people are really not recommended in agile because the way you do the work is you divide a chunk of work. Okay, you have a lot of work to do, you divide it into chunk, one after the other, and that chunk is distributed across the team, right? So that's what you call as Scrum. Okay, Scrum is a group of people, okay, but not large people. Okay, you cannot take no one will work with 20 people, doesn't happen. Okay, in agile it's really not the way it's done is not really in large numbers, but it's done in the small numbers. Okay, that's what this agile is all about. Okay, you actually divide the lot of work into small chunk so that small people can limited people can work on it. Okay, so that's about agile. Now let's see. Let's talk about these terminologies. Okay, what we use a lot of terminologies in agile. Okay, let's understand what the terminology before going ahead talking of any other things. So let's see what lot of changes here. Now let's talk about this team. Okay, so there is something called developers. Okay, there are developers here too. Okay, and there is called testers. Okay, so see here they want to eliminate these testers. Okay, I'm trying to find out these people. These are meetings. Okay, great. Here it is. Okay, so these are the roles. Let's talk about these roles. How is. So there is something called developers. Everyone knows it's a developer team. And if you see here, there is nothing called testers. Now, what is agile? They're trying to remove the testers in agile. Okay, now that's not really going to happen in anytime soon, because see, the reason being, you cannot remove testers completely. You might limit it one, two, that's it, in one team, but really you cannot remove them. Okay, if you are removing, you are really in trouble, and that's the responsibility of a manager and the boss. If they are trying to do something, they're screwing up the project, and if the project gets screwed, they are really in trouble. So they're not going to remove completely. Okay, testers. Okay, let's see here. What's really the idea behind this agile is they want slowly to do the testers, the job of a tester by developer. They'll say, no, hey, you know what? You are developing an application. Why don't you test it? Now, that's really not going to happen, because the reason why, whenever a developer tests it, they test business from a business point of view. That means its code is good, yeah, it's good. Okay, the application, yeah, everything is good. Now that's good as a business perspective. But if a tester is testing an application, they test based on user perspective. That means user, is this button working? Now, developer never thought about that, right? Developer never knew that this button was working or not in the UI point of view. They only check in the code. Yeah, code is good. Yeah, we are good. But now testers really don't go on the code, and they go on the functionality side and the application. This button is working, this URL is working, these images are good. There are issues, as we talk. There's shipping issues. There's a lot more issues like the stock. We have seen the stock is there, still it's ordering large quantity. Okay, so those kind of issues are really not taken care of by the developer. So really, you cannot remove a tester. Okay, so now this is a very good point. When your boss will say no, we don't need any tester. Okay, we are eliminating all the testers from the team. They will tell you, okay, so this way. So now you need to explain to them. Okay, you need to explain. You cannot really remove testers completely from a team. Why? Well, they'll be having an obvious question, right? Why not? No, why not? Can remove? I will remove because agile. Why don't developer do the testing? So that's really not going to happen. You need to explain that developer, whenever developer test it, they test based on business perspective, and whenever testers test an application, they test on user perspective, customer point of view. Okay. Now, really, you want to work on customer point of view. Really, we are not worried about business. Customer is happy or not, because if you get the customer, you get the business, right? If you are not worried about customer, really business will be in trouble. So that's the reason you cannot remove testers. Okay, so you have to make sure if your boss asks this, if your boss is very unhappy, we are eliminating all the testers from the team. We need to talk about this and make sure that's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, even if they remove it, it's they have to replace with someone, or someone else have to do the work. Okay, now all the work cannot be done by the developer. Okay, so that's the point here. So there is no testers here. Okay, so here go here. Let's talk about this product owner. So who is this product owner actually? Product owner in waterfall methodology we call business analyst. Business analyst in waterfall methodology we call product owner in agile methodology. Okay, same guy, different terminology. Okay, the same guy who's working on it is good. Same, actually similar requirements, if not same. There will be similar responsibilities of a product owner. It will not be the same, because the waterfall really works different and agile really completely opposite. So so that's the reason product owner is actually business analyst in waterfall methodology. Okay, and what's the responsibilities? Just again gathering requirements, and all the requirements need a lot of communication, organize a lot of work, it's a lot of things. Okay, so that's the job of a product owner. Let's come into the development team. Okay, we have development team. Okay, and they can be wide range of developers. Don't have to be any specific, like web developer, Java developer, JavaScript developer, HTML, Ajax, Flash developer, there's etc. So there's a lot of people. So you may not always have those people in your team. If you get any issues, you need to coordinate with the other team too. Okay, to do this. So there's the development team. Okay. Sometimes it's agile. People make it flexible. That's good. But no, it's not necessary. It is flexible because um, yeah, I know. Voice is not good. So okay. So yeah, the voice is not clear. Okay. Yeah, just try to check with your respective manager and all. Also, I'll also try once. Also, make sure. So guys who are having some problems, right? Try to check. With the Zoom. Okay, so they might if you help you out. Okay. Now next we have Scrum Master. So let's who is a Scrum Master. Scrum Master is project manager in waterfall methodology. Is Scrum Master in Agile. Okay. 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 So people who cannot hear properly, okay, so don't worry about it. Just go into the better video. I'll be also giving you better audio quality. So you can go ahead and look at it. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. Okay. Okay. So okay, let's talk about the Scrum Master. Okay. Um, so Scrum Master. Okay, the job of a Scrum Master is you know they, so it's actually a project manager. Okay, can you guys able to hear now better? Is it better audible now? Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Is it audible now? Okay, so so if it's good, we can proceed. If you have issues, let me see if I can do something. Okay, so I'll try to see if we can do anything. Okay, okay. So I guess I hope it's better now, right? It's better. Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, good. So now let's talk about the Scrum Master. Okay, so the Scrum Master, right? So what is the Scrum Master? So the project manager in waterfall methodology, okay, it's called Scrum Master in Agile. Same guy, different responsibilities. Responsibilities maybe similar, not same, okay, but a different terminology. Here you call Scrum Master. Who is Scrum Master? Nothing but project manager. Okay, that guy is made Scrum Master here. Now this is here you're giving more importance to your project manager. That's good because project manager is more is really need to involve more into the project than your boss. Your boss is really not shown here. See, because really not their job to do anything here in Agile. Okay, now here's the thing. So these are the you need to make sure understand the responsibilities of a Scrum Master. So it's very important to understand the responsibilities of a Scrum Master. So what happened, right? In one of my project, when I was working, so there was like there's a lot of issues, and there was issues, and as you know, developer won't respond to the issues. If you are supposed to know that developer won't respond, they will don't care. You open the issues, they'll just ignore it. Okay, so what happens? If you okay, just let me mute it. So whoever is interested can unmute and can talk. Okay. So what happened? Lot of issues and developers don't respond. Okay, you have to go to a developer and they say, no, I don't have time for your bug. Okay, just I'm working on serious production issues here. Okay, I have a lot of work here. I mean, I'm really stuck for 1 week. I can't help you out. So that is the response always they will be giving you whenever you approach it. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, you need to understand this. No, they will not help you out. Now, if you are not fixing that issue, you are in trouble because your job is to assign to a developer, and developer don't care. That's really not anyone's problem. Okay. Now you keep going there and they don't respond. So you know what? You need to approach whom? You need to approach Scrum Master. Now what happened? The same thing happened. I get the issue that defect number. I open defect in Rally and I just talk to the Scrum Master. I ping them like saying, hey, you know what? Can you check with developer? This is the issue and this is a priority issue and this should be gone to this production and I really cannot afford to lose this because this is really important and you know what? It's this is supposed to go. This project is supposed to go and we don't have much time left. Now, you know what? My boss really called me. Hey, why did you give the issue to the Scrum Master? Why not developer? Okay, so you need to respond to that saying that based on my experience, our Scrum Master is a bridge between developers and testers who's supposed to resolve the issue, whatever it's come into the project. How do you know? So here's the thing. See here, it's written in the it's in the whole world. The whole world supposed to know this, but they don't know, right? Your boss don't know. Here's the thing: it's helping the Scrum team to avoid and remove impediments to spread whether internal or external to the team. Now, this is a job of a This is a job of a Scrum Master. It's a basic responsibility. But they don't know. My Scrum Master didn't know. My boss didn't know. But I know because I've been working for past so many years, so I know. So I told them. So now they didn't say anything. Okay, good. Now they don't talk, because because if you know what, why don't I give you reference for this? You know what? Just take this reference and see. Why don't you see yourself? What are the responsibilities of Scrum Master? Why don't you understand the responsibilities? So that's how you need to talk to your boss whenever say that if you're wrong, why don't you take this reference and see what is right? Why don't you take yourself? If you have any questions, we can work together. Okay, so that's how you need to work. Okay, so that's the responsibility of Scrum Master to resolve any impediments. Because trust me, developers won't help you out. Developers will say, I don't have time for your bug, I don't have time for your defects, go away. I have a lot of production issues, and really they might be really busy, we don't know. So we don't have to worry on this. Try to escalate this issue to Scrum Master so that they will resolve based on their experience and based on their contacts. Okay, we really cannot do much about it because they say they're busy. That's fine, but now since your responsibility is to follow up with the developer and make sure it is fixed, because you are the one who is responsible for the defect, right? So that's what you also want to make sure, what are the responsibilities of this Scrum Master. And whenever your boss questions saying that why did you give to the Scrum Master, why not to the developer, then you need to respond saying that it's a job of a simple, it's a job of a Scrum Master. Why don't you see this reference? Oh, not just here. It's almost anywhere you are. It's a really job of a Scrum Master. Okay, so that's how you have to make sure if if you get into trouble, because most probably and mostly the boss always tries to test you. They always tries to test you. You know this or not? They want to test you. So you have to always tell them like, yeah, why not? Yeah, I can do this. Why not? Yeah, we have some other team to do it. So that's how you need to respond always. So you cannot say, I don't know, not sure about it. No, you cannot say that. Okay, you need to come up with scenarios, or you need to see, check the reference or see where actually it is written, and you need to, answer them. And or if you cannot answer them immediately, you can say, no, let me check on this. You know what? You're good. I'll just check on this and come to you by the end of the day. And just do some research. Talk to your colleagues and talk to people who know, and come up with some solution so that your boss is convinced. Okay, so this is the this is the response. These are the roles and responsibilities of in the team. So a team consists of product owner, that is business analyst, and development team, or 2 to 3 development teams, and 1 tester of course, and Scrum Master, who is the project manager. So that's it. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 people. That's it. Maybe 2 developers, 1 tester. Okay, or 1 developer, 1 tester. Okay. Any questions? So make sure you understand these responsibilities of these 2, because not that you are going to do it. It's just in case if your boss just wants to test you, saying that they always want to test you. They'll just they'll always make sure that you are wrong. But you need to come up with a solution that what, yeah, it's really not the case here. In this scenario, we are really not working on such type. We are working in in agile, and this is how it works. And if you want, why don't you check it in this? Okay. So that's how you have to tell them. Okay, so let's go to the next. Okay, now let's talk about this. There is something called sprint. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay. Let's talk about this workflow. This is the workflow. Okay, let's go here first. Let's understand this artifacts. Okay, there's the roles. Now we'll talk about these artifacts. Okay. Okay. So here there is something called product backlog. What is this? These are the terminologies. Okay, what I'm trying to say is terminologies. This is a known thing to everyone. Everyone knows. Only thing is the way it is written down, the way that it is done is different. Okay, this is a known thing. Okay, what is product backlog? It's a requirement. Simple. It's a requirement. What is the requirement? It can be a BRD, it can be a FRD, it can be user story, it can be anything, but it's just a requirement. So that's a product backlog in a layman language. Okay, what I'm trying to say, your product backlog is actually a requirement. Now let's go in detail about this. So what is a product backlog? Product backlog is a high level requirement, very high level requirement, and this high level requirement, it can be as high level as one line statement in an Excel sheet. Okay, just a one line statement, that's it. Just because giving one line statement, nobody understands just one line statement, right? Let's take an example here. Okay, let's say I know that, so you guys didn't know, let's say you don't know GMO online, so there is just a product backlog saying that boardland.com GMO online, design the website GMO online. So that's a product backlog. Now you can take a product backlog, and we don't know really how it can be classified, how it can be done, how it can can be broken into chunks of work so that you can create number of URLs, number of web pages. You just know that design gem online. Now you don't know how the website looks like. You have no technical information whatsoever in this product backlog. So that's what it is. You don't have this technical information, and really you cannot do anything with this. If you know product backlog, okay, good. But you are really nothing to do with this because it's written in the story format, and it's really no technical information so that you can either test it or design it. You cannot do anything. So that's a product backlog. Now this product backlog is again divided. Let's say product backlog is divided into various sprints. Okay, since as I told you, product backlog might be just one line statement, so we don't know really how much time will it take, how much work it is. Okay, it may be lot amount of work, so it has to be divided into chunks, so we don't know. So that's why it's called sprint backlog. Okay, there's something called sprint backlog. But that amount of work is divided into sprints. So what is sprint? Sprint is actually time boxed in it. So that means 1 month, 2 weeks, 1 month. So here for ease of convenience, we'll take as 1 month. You don't have to 1 month. It can be 2 months. It can be 15 days. Okay, based on the project, we don't know. So here for ease of convenience, we'll take 1 month. Sprint. Sprint is a time box unit. Let's take for example as 1 month. Okay, sprint backlog means the amount of work which is there is prioritized into sprint. Okay, let's say this product backlog had like 4 blocks. Okay, 4 chunks of the work, and each chunk is going into sprint, and it is again divided into 4 sprints. Okay, so that's called sprint backlog. Okay, sprint backlog is it's the time, it's a time box unit which how much work has to be done. Okay, so that's sprint. I'll explain you much detail from a graph. We'll talk about this graph and we'll see. And here we have various graphs here. If you see here, there's a various graphs that are generated: sprint burn down chart, release burn up chart. If you see here, now here you're not drawing anything. Okay, everything is done for you in Rally. Let's see here. So as I told you, if you have looked into this Rally, and if you go to the report section, go ahead and click on reports, and you're not drawing anything here, right? You're not doing anything here. The tool is automatically helping you out to create these charts. Okay, that's what is going to happen there. Okay, this tool is out. If you have some, the graph would have been automatically generated. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this is similar like this. So that's how this chart is also actually generating based on your responses, based on your defects, based on your user stories, based on your work, how how many tasks you're handling. All this is automatically generated for you. So this is called burn down chart. Okay, you're not doing and drawing, taking pencil and drawing this. No, this is not going to happen that, because this is all automated. Okay, these are all automatically generated. Okay, And there's a lot of charts here burn up, and you can see here all these charts are readily available. Iteration burn down, iteration burn up, velocity chart, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the charts here. Okay, so any questions? So these are the artifacts. So these are called artifacts. Okay, product backlog and sprint backlog. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to the process here pretty much. Here, let's see here. Okay, so here's the process for agile. So this is the process for agile. You have this product backlog. Again, I told you product backlog is very high level set, high level requirement. Now let's say they have classified into 4 blocks. Okay, this 4 block in sense, it's like since you have come up only one line statement, but it has to divide it into more. Let's say let's see here. Okay, let's see here. What I said is just like one line statement. Now we don't know how many pages. Let's say 1 page. This is next page. Okay, this is second page. Okay, this is third page. So let's say this is 4 blocks. That's the reason they have this 4 blocks. Okay, so 4 web pages. Not just 4 web pages. I'm just giving you for understanding, but it's 4 web pages. We say that for what to do. Okay, now each block is again divided into 4 sprints. You see this 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that means that will take 4 months. Each sprint, we take it as 1 month. That means that backlog amount, the amount of work is, each month, you're trying to classify that each block is 4 months. Okay, and you're trying to do in each sprint. So what is sprint? You take 30 days, and each sprint you deliver this product. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so now here you don't see this user story here. Now this product backlog, when you classify, when you go in detail, then this is called sprint backlog. That means it has to be divided into 4 sprints. Now each sprint, again, it has to be divided into user stories. Okay, that will be 10 user story. We don't go more than 10. Okay, that's really not a good idea if you go more than 10. There has to be a limit. So once you each sprint backlog will be 10 users. Let's say 10 user story. Okay, and what is user story? Now that's a requirement. Now that has technical information. Even if it doesn't have, you need to check with the developer, and developer understands better because they are the one who are actually implementing this. So they will be knowing better on this one. Okay, so that's how the Scrum process. Any questions so far? Okay, so no questions. So let's move to the next topic. So what we are talking all about, this is Scrum process. Okay, this is Scrum. So this is all about what happens. All this is in Scrum. Okay. So what is a Scrum? Again, it is a framework. It's an iterative and incremental process. Okay, and for a layman language, you can say it as a team. Scrum 1, Scrum 2, Scrum 3. They will have different name. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about this various meetings. Okay, so when you are in Agile, you will be having a lot of meetings. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. Yeah. Lot of meetings. Okay, not just 1 or 2. You might end up everyday meetings. Okay, there is everyday meeting. Okay, and they will make sure that most of your lunchtime is used up. Okay, so here let's see here sprint planning. Okay, now what is the sprint planning? So here, since we talk about this backlogs, a lot of backlogs, like they will more go in detail, right? When you go in detail, now here in the sprint planning, they will discuss what are the user stories. Now they'll talk all about these user stories. Now how many user stories and what are the user stories are going into this sprint? What is the priority of this user story, and based on priority, they'll move. If it's a low priority, they'll move into the next sprint. Okay, we have 2 months of time. Why don't we go to the next month release? Okay, next sprint, so on. So that's what you will be discussing in this sprint planning. Okay, so and they will be also having some, time limit, like how much time. So usually voting system, kind of voting system, where let's say for developer comes up, yeah, 5, let's say 5, that means it takes 5 days. Now when they say 5 days, that includes testing as well as development. Now this 5 days is not just for developer. Now here, as a tester, we are really not proactive here. The reason being because we really don't know the process. Let's say Java developer, that guy is really talking well because he knows what the issue is, and he knows because he's working for a pretty long time, and he can really much talk about this because he knows what the user story is all about and how much time it takes to develop. That's why he has much more knowledge on this, so he'll be talking more. So he will say, yeah, 5 days. That means 2 days for testing, 3 days for development, or 1 day for testing, 4 days for development. Okay, so here that's how sprint planning is decided. So that's kind of voting system. Okay, and this who actually plans this is Scrum Master. Scrum Master is responsible for coming up with the sprint planning. And when does the sprint planning happens? This sprint planning happens every new sprint. The new sprint comes up, sprint planning comes up. Why? Because what are the users that has to go into this sprint? What are the things to be happen? So all those things. Okay, so that's the sprint planning. And next you have daily Scrum meeting. So now this is our stand-up meeting. Okay, it's also called stand-up meeting, and this is time boxed in it to 15 minutes. Let's go to 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. It doesn't go more than 20 minutes. Okay, if you are going more than 30 minutes on this, then you're doing it wrong, because this happens daily at 9. Mostly at 9 a.m. So they will just just the moment you come into the office, you need to, maybe if you're working at home, maybe if you have comfortable, then you may talk over the phone. That's fine. But this is, it takes only 15 minutes. And what really they discuss about, they really talk about what have you done yesterday, what are you going to do today, what are you going to do tomorrow, and what are the impediments that is stopping you to do the work. So here impediment means defect or any coordination issue or any issue. Okay, coordination issue or defect. Okay, anything which is stopping you to do the work. Okay, that is what you will be discussing in daily Scrum. Okay, so 4 important things. What have you done yesterday? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? And what is impediment? What is the impediment that is stopping you to do the work? That's all discussed in daily Scrum. Okay. Now this normally starts from 9 a.m. to 9:15 and 9:20, and this thing, sprint planning. Now this starts from 9:30 to 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Okay, till 2 p.m. they'll take this sprint planning. It's large, they take almost 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. Okay, and let's see to the next meeting. So there is something called sprint review and retrospective meeting. So here, what you discuss is what went good, what didn't go good, how can we improve on that. Okay, 3 important things: what went good, what didn't go good, and how can you improve which didn't go well. Okay, and this happens at the end of the sprint. Supposed to happen at the end of the sprint, but the sprint gets a new sprint gets into it, and you'll be it will be a little bit delayed. And again, this is the responsibility of a Scrum Master who sets up all these meetings. Okay, all these meetings are set up by the Scrum Master. All the sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review and retrospective, all this is done by the Scrum Master. Any questions? So here are the three major important aspects in Scrum. One is the terminology. If you know the terminology, that's good. The next is artifacts. What are the artifacts? Product backlog, sprint, impediments, all those things. And the other is the responsibilities. I'm sorry, workflow. How sprint planning, daily Scrum. This meetings. So this is basically the meetings. And also you need to supposed to know the roles and responsibilities of all of the team members. Okay, so if you know that, it's better. When you get some questions, you will be in a better position to answer it. Okay, so here this is an example of sprint. I'm sorry, daily Scrum. Okay, stand-up meeting. So it's like some Scrum Master and remaining team members will be standing in, and will be talking about the issue. So normally this is a really traditional way of doing this, okay? Because here you see this, this is traditional way of doing this. You have this board set up called stories in one column, to do, in progress, testing, okay? Now there are sticky notes here, okay? And whenever sticky notes is started, and you started from the developer, okay? Tester don't start. See, when do you do testing? Once the development is done, then only you start testing, right? So obviously you are not the one, or testers are not the one who will be starting the sticky notes. The sticky notes are started from the developer, and once the developer completes it, then the testing starts. Okay, so that's how these two sticky notes, one for the developer, one other for the tester. Okay, once it completes, you can start from there. So these all the stories are the user stories. So this is a really traditional way of doing this. Okay. But let's see, if you see this, let's say if it's in, if you want to see here, this is actually automated in online system. Here, what you call this user stories. Okay, so this is the user story. Okay, so this is the user story, and that's what here user story means. Okay, so these are the user stories. See this, these many. So that means these many user stories. And let's say if you pick up one user story and look into it, and this task, you see this task. Okay, now this is actually the sticky notes actually to do. What you are trying to do is that the sticky notes which is state, is it here how much estimation is, how much you are going to do. Again, use the owner of this. Okay, so this is basically the online system for your whole traditional way of doing this. So it's really traditional way. You don't want to do it. The reason being, if someone is trying to do traditional, this is really not efficient way of doing this work. Why? Because you need to spend more money on this. You need to spend money because you're using this board, and you're actually taking more time of your Scrum Master. Now, who is going to organize all these things? Is Scrum Master is responsible to do all this. Okay, he has to take up the board from somewhere and bring it here, put all this sticky notes here, put all these user stories and print it out. Now that's really inefficient. Okay, why? Because instead of spending that amount of time here, he could have done better work, like creating user story, or here online you do it, and that requires less time and more efficient way of doing the work. Okay, so this is the really traditional way, is not really efficient. Now in some companies I've also seen what they do is they plot charts. Okay, they plot charts in this hard copy, and they put they have separate printer. This called plotter. Okay, this big chart they stick on the walls. Now the CFO comes and CIO sees, okay, you're doing the work. Now really that's not the way that's supposed to do, because that is really very traditional way of doing it, and it's inefficient because you're spending a lot of time in just preparing those charts. You're using your whole time in just doing that. So that's the reason you need a better thing. That's why this tool is okay. This tool is helpful. Okay, doing this, you no more require any charts. You're saving money in printing. You're saving money in the plotting this, and you're also being efficient. You're utilizing your time in better way. Okay, instead of plotting that, you don't want to use this because it might take 2 days or 2 days, of that it can be utilized better here. And you can already create charts here itself. Once you create all these charts, look at this. You have already created this burn down chart, and you know what? You don't have to stick anywhere. It's online. Give access to that guy. Give access to CIO, CFO, whoever is responsible. They will look at it and they will understand this. Okay. So if any company is doing that, you can recommend that, saying that, hey, we are doing really inefficiently. Why? And they'll ask you a outright question. Why is it? Why do you think that way? Because the traditional way, we require a lot of time. We are utilizing most of time here in just board and using this sticky notes and all those things. There's a tool called Rally, and why don't we use this? This already everything is done for you, and this way we can use much of our time in productive way. Okay, so that's the reason this test management tool is helpful. That's the reason for Rally is helpful, not in any test. Rally is pretty good in Agile. Okay, and Rally is good for Scrum, mostly Scrum. Okay, now let's see a little, pretty quick here with Kanban process. So let's see if I have access to that. Now this is the Kanban process is not really as Scrum, because Scrum, you'll be, in the Scrum, a lot of people are involved. In Kanban, although people are involved, you're really not, into those kind of lot of complex meetings. Okay, the sprint planning, sprint session, those will be a little bit shorter, not 3-4 hours. Okay, the stretch it will be that way. So that's the Kanban is good for small projects. Scrum is good for large projects. So that's the actually use. So let's see if I have access to TFS. So what is TFS? TFS is Team Foundation Server. It is similar to Rally, but thing is, this TFS is from Microsoft. Okay, and this Rally is from CA Technologies. So two different tools, but this tool is good for Kanban. Let's see how this we can work on Kanban. I cannot remember this. Let's see. Just give me a second. I'll just try to check this. Try to get this username. So this tool TFS is very good for Kanban processing. So we'll discuss more into detail. Okay, the thing we'll discuss more into detail. But let's see here. How can we? Okay, let's see here. We got this. In sign. Okay, great. So this is we have this URL actually. Let's put this URL. So Microsoft is a little bit convoluted process. Okay, it's really, they don't make it simple. Okay, it's really not that user friendly. But still, we'll figure it out this. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, let's go here. So this is this is also similar like Rally. Okay, so if you want, this is really hard to get access. But if you are interested, really, we can work on this, and I can give you access. But so work, so the work. So here you see this backlog. Here also you have this backlog. Okay. Now let's go to the board section. Okay, so here we go. So this, the way we have done right here, if you compare this, let's say if you're working on some, here we go. Okay, this board. Okay, we have the storage to do in progress testing sprint ends. Okay, now instead of using that, you can use this board too. And this board is, now this is online. Now if you're thinking, okay, this is my user story, I want to use it now, just drag it here and put it here. You see this, the graph got updated too. Now you're really doing everything is automated here. Okay, you're not really using any kind of board or something. You're just using this tool. Okay, and once it gets active, you just move this user story, pull it and drag it here. Okay, that means it's resolved and the graph gets updated. And once it's closed, you drag it, this user story, and put it here. It's done. Okay, the similar way, what you were actually doing in the traditional way of doing this, instead of putting this sticky note and dragging here and putting all this, we have made it online. Okay, so this is online is good, and you can check it out. Okay, so this is actually, this is more useful for Kanban process. So Kanban, so that's also an iterative and incremental process, but that's the simple way of doing this. No more Scrum, because those Kanban don't have those many meetings and those many so it's Scrum is a ceremonial way of doing this. Okay, a lot of people are gathering here. A lot of people need not gather; they can do their own work, by moving this, and so everybody knows once you move it. Okay, so we'll go here. This thing will go in detail. Okay, hopefully in the last class, we can talk about that one. Okay, so that is about the Scrum. Any questions so far? So I'll be giving you homework, just try to understand this agile. So again, you have to understand as a management perspective, because management perspective, they don't do any coding here or testing. They don't do any of this. They want to see the work, how is the process. This is all, this agile and all this is actually the process. Okay, not the software, not the code, not the testing, but this is really to the framework, how you actually get into the system. You need to move as per the policies or company policies, as per the rules, right? So this is what this is what all about. So it's not necessary that you may understand everything as immediately, but to moving forward, and once you get used to this, once you get into the system, you will slowly be understanding what's going on. Okay, right. At this time, maybe you may not understand everything at once, so it's okay, because there's a lot to go into one. So you might refer once, you might check, understand this, compare this, you can compare with other tools, compare with, and you can understand it. Okay, so that's how you can do it. So again, this agile, right, it's keep on evolving. Okay, this is new, and they keep on evolving. So they are keep new terminologies keep on coming. So there's like different things. You can go ahead, you can have a look, you can read it. So there's a done, what is the definition of done? Velocity. What's the velocity? So normally this velocity is plotted into velocity chart. Okay, that's called velocity. And spike, tracer, bullet. Okay, so these things keep on evolve. They keep on coming new. They keep on add new things here in agile. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, any questions? Okay, so if you see here is Scrum Band 2. it's based on Kanban process. Okay, so Kanban, I told you, right? It's the similar way you do in the Scrum. What you do in the Scrum, all this, keep the user stories, move the user stories from active, from to development, from development to testing, from testing to, so that's the part of the Scrum. Okay, so all this part and the meetings. Okay, but in Kanban, you really don't have that kind of complex environment. The complexity is in Scrum. If you understand the Scrum, Kanban is simple. Because it's a similar way of doing it. Okay, and not all people are involved at once here in Kanban. And why this two different things? Why Scrum? Why Kanban? So Scrum is used for large projects. If you have large projects going on, Scrum is useful because you want to divide that Scrum into Scrum 1, Scrum 2, Scrum 3, various teams, and you want to do the work. Okay. And if it's a small projects, you really don't have that many people, and still you don't really require a lot of research on that. So you go to Kanban process. Okay, that's how they have actually divided this process. Okay. So this is about agile. So tomorrow, we'll talk about Jira. Okay, so tomorrow we'll go to one more test management tool. Okay, that is Jira. So you're already comfortable with this Rally, that's good. Okay, Rally is good. But you also want to know about Jira, so you want to, see. So I'll be giving you access to that too. Okay, make sure you guys see, make use of this access, right? So you want to understand this, you want to learn, you want to make use of those. Okay, because you're not getting that everywhere or every time. The reason because nobody has access to that. Okay, not all people, at least not all people have access, and not all people will be giving you access. So make sure you understand the tool by practicing and make good use of it. Okay, so that's the point here. Okay, so we'll talk about this Jira. The only difference here is you do the same thing. Okay, you do what have you done in the Rally? You'll be doing the same thing or similar thing in Jira, but the way you do is little different. Okay, because UI is different. Okay, UI is different and the whole set is different. Okay, but we can we'll work on that tomorrow. Let's see if we have. I hope we have access for this. Okay, good. So we have access. I'm able to give you access. You can go ahead and work on that. So that will be tomorrow. Okay. Any questions so far in Agile? If you guys have any questions in Agile? So audio is now better, right? So I hope everyone was able to hear after this, right? Can anyone ping me? So audio was better after this. Was everyone was able to hear it? Or you still have issues? Can anyone tell? Are you still having issues in audio? Okay. So if no one has any questions, can we close this class? Okay, thank you guys.